What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. I am Haley Fowler, otherwise known as the Fictional Scholar, and today I am going to do a review of My Hero Academia Season 5, and it's gonna be good. So right now we are about halfway through Season 5, and the first few episodes have been scrutinized very heavily by a lot of the My Hero Academia fans and by the anime community in general. And I'm here to talk about what's really going on with MHA Season 5, what's been done well, what they could have been doing better, the lead up and everything that's going to be coming, and what I'm thinking is the second half of Season 5 in My Hero Academia. And I'm so excited. As a manga reader, I'm so excited. So let's get into the video. MHA Season 5 review. So I actually have this cute little Deku figurine. It's so cute. Oh, it's reflecting in the ring light, but that's fine. Yeah, I got this little figurine at Hobby Lobby. So yeah, since we're talking about My Hero Academia, it's only fitting that Midoriya is here. So Season 5 has been heavily scrutinized because one of the pacing that it's been doing, it's saying that it's a lot slower than the overhaul arc and everything, and it kind of picks up where Season 4 ends off with the school festival arc, which also got a lot of hate and a lot of crap for being too slow or such a letdown arc after what happened with overhaul, which I very much so disagree with. I think the school festival arc was amazing, and the actual performance itself in the school festival arc where Kyoka is singing and Airi smiles, it is the most wholesome scene. And for a show like My Hero Academia, that's exactly what it needs, because a lot of people forget that these are kids. These are teenagers still learning to become heroes, learning to be the best versions of themselves, the best heroes in this world that they're coming into. So of course not everything is gonna be boom 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 fast paced, but also as a manga reader, people are gonna miss the slowness of these few arcs because oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm not gonna spoil anything from the manga. I'm not going to spoil anything from the manga, so you don't have to worry about that. We're here to talk about My Hero Academia Season 5. But Season 5 has actually done a lot of things very well, and I'll tell you why. Season 5 focuses on Class 1A and Class 1B, and instead of doing the few main characters that are always spotlighted throughout the series, it actually goes deep into every single Class 1A student, all 20 of them, and kind of highlights their abilities, how they've been growing, the moves that they've been practicing, and how they're starting to work better as a team. And it is honestly really nice to see that character development and that growth in all these characters who don't normally get the spotlight and aren't normally the focus of everyone's attention. And I think they've done that so well, especially with Tokoyami. They did his character so well with his internship and how he was training with Hawks and how he really has come into himself and learned how to use his quirk so much better, and he can fly now. So I mean, it's an incredible thing. And a lot of, even with Momo and some of the other students that people are oh well, this is dragging on too long, this is so boring, it actually does so well at developing these characters that we haven't really seen much from. There have been little tidbits throughout the first 4 seasons, but this first part of Season 5 really was no, we're gonna focus on these students, we're gonna highlight them for the first time. For a lot of them, for the first time, we're really gonna focus and highlight them. And I think that was a really good thing, because no, they might not have a huge part in the later arcs of My Hero Academia, and who knows, I don't know what Horikoshi has planned for the manga and the direction it's gonna go, so I don't know where he's gonna be using those characters, how he's gonna be using those characters, but they had their moment to be spotlighted and shown, and I think it's fantastic that they did that. I also really appreciate that we actually finally, for the first time, really get to focus on Class 1B too. And Monoma, oh my goodness, I love him so much. He is such a hoot. But you know, we get Monoma, we get Kendo, we get everyone from Class 1B gets highlighted as well for the first time. We actually figure out what their quirks are, what they've been learning, what they've been doing, how they've been training so differently than Class 1A. And it's kind of refreshing just to see this friendly rivalry between the two classes instead of, you know, life and death situations. But shame on me for wanting harmless fun, I guess. But with that being said, I believe there are some things that could have been done better, like all of the repetitiveness, and especially in the openings of each episode. They do a lot of repeating like what had happened in the previous episode or the few previous episodes. I think they could have cut those scenes out and kind of condensed it a little bit more, especially knowing like what's going to be coming up in the later arcs and knowing like where they're going to be going for the second half of season 5. The creators and the animators, they could have condensed it a little bit more, but I think creatively there's a reason they did that. I can't exactly say why, but I can understand why they would draw it out just a little bit, because I have a feeling this second half of season 5 is gonna just snap. And it's gonna go off and gonna be so fast paced, and people are gonna be like, whoa, 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 where did this come from? But season 5 also does very well with establishing a very good setup for the later half of the season and even further down into the storyline, because not only are we seeing like different character developments continuing, like Bakugo, like he is a natural leader and he's working with others now. He's saving his friends and they're saving him, and he's okay with it. Like, that's such huge character development that without this arc we wouldn't have seen otherwise, at least from the manga's perspective, you know. And you know, seeing that how he's putting his body on the line for his friends and how everything's progressing, he's naturally catching on more to what's going on with like All Might and Midoriya, and he's so much more observant. I think it was a really good idea to highlight that. And of course, star of the first half of this season is Shinzo. You know, for those who haven't seen it, this is going to be a small spoiler warning. Shinzo did this assessment and fought with Class 1A and Class 1B so he could be transferred into the hero course, and he passed. He's going to be in the hero course for the next year, and that's such a huge thing for Shinzo's character, because his character kind of died off a little bit after season 2, but then it started coming back, and this was so nice to see him, you know, with his flashbacks of how he's been working hard, working with Aizawa, and now seeing him really come to fruition as a full-fledged hero, like a hero course student. It's such a wonderful payoff, and again, without this little arc, we wouldn't have been able to see that about Shinzo. We wouldn't have been able to see his growth and everything that he's been working for thus far. So obviously that is an amazing thing. And a lot of other character developments come, like Uraraka has a lot of great development in this, and it really follows through from season 4 and how she was feeling after the overhaul arc, and like how she's now in the mindset of like, who saves the heroes when the heroes are hurting. You know, it's great. All these characters are being fleshed out more than they ever have been. Like Ida, Todoroki, all of them are getting highlighted. Even like Mina and Sue are getting more attention than they used to. And even like I almost messed up his name. Aoyama. Aoyama, like all the characters that have kind of had minor parts up until now, like finally got a little bit of a moment, and I feel like that was so deserved. And also another thing that people have been given credit for, but not enough, I don't think, is how amazing the animation is. Like, knowing that arc in the manga and seeing it adapted into an anime was so awesome. The visuals were amazing, especially for like Ida's moment and Todoroki's moment, and then of course for Midoriya's Black Whip. When that got animated, oh my gosh, I had chills. They did such an amazing job with that. And because people were upset with the pacing or with the repetitiveness or how slow this was going, they kind of disregarded how amazing this animation was and how like the studio who is producing My Hero Academia for season 5 I've just put in so much work to making sure this looks so clean and just it is fire. It's so good. But of course, and then setup wise, not only just for character development and character growth for further seasons, setup wise it sets up for the plot, because in the first episode or so we get the follow-up from season 4 with Endeavor and Hawks fighting that Nomu, that high-end Nomu, and you know, that meeting between Endeavor and Dobby, and then the meeting between Hawks and Dobby. Like, that already was a huge setup for something that's going to be happening in the future. And then throughout this season 5, this first half of season 5, there have been little tidbits of saying, oh, well, something's going on with Midoriya's quirk, like especially when he entered into that little realm and he was like all smoky, he had all the smoke over him and everything, and he was able to see like the past wielders of One for All. And then whenever he released Black Whip, and how he was able to see I don't remember which one, the user who had Black Whip, I can't remember which one he was, but he saw him clearly. It wasn't a vestige anymore. He was talking, he was engaging with Midoriya and everything like that, and him saying to Midoriya like, look, you're gonna manifest 6 more quirks, 6 more different powers are going to manifest in you, and you have to master using all of us. Now that's some real like Avatar stuff right there. That's like Avatar state stuff, but I digress. But you know, like that alone sets up for something to happen in the future. And then we see All for One in prison. He's like, oh, I can hear my little brother's voice, and it's like, oh, he's still, oh yeah, that's right, he's still there. So these little tidbits have been just enough to build up just enough suspense to be like, something crazy is about to happen. And another little bit of foreshadowing. Sorry, it's late. I got off at work just a little bit ago, so my brain's kind of not working. But yes, another bit of foreshadowing is when Eri comes back. Eri is so precious. I love her so much. But you know, Monoma trying to copy Eri's quirk to see if he could help her teach, and like the knowledge of Monoma's quirk being like, ew, you can't do stockpiling. But bringing Eri back in this capacity of being like, oh, well, we're trying to help teach her, we're trying to help, you know, get her in control of her quirk so she can start helping others. That's another huge setup that it's doing in this, you know, this first half of season 5. And it does it so well because it's not in a place where everything is hectic and frantic and high paced, so all of this gets missed. No, it's just slow enough but just fast enough that it gets the right amount of time given to it, and it's like, oh, they did this intentionally, there's something they're planning with this. And I think that's fantastic. I think they did a really good job. And honestly, look, in my opinion, I don't believe My Hero Academia season, especially season 5, I don't believe it should get all the hate it gets. That is just my opinion. Because it's done a lot of good. It's done so much more good than it has bad, like whatever you may say. Like, we're getting more of Endeavor's, you know, the beginning of his redemption arc in a sense. Like we had his start at the end of season 4 where he defeated Nomo and he had his fist in the air and everything. Like, we had his start, and season 5 is picking that up and starting to go with it for his potential redemption arc in the future. I mean, it may be slow paced, it may not be as exciting as the previous seasons were, and granted, I get it, I understand. You want to see more of the villains that we haven't seen in quite a while. You want to see more of the villains, you want to see more action between the heroes and the villains fighting and all of that coming to a head. I get it. Trust me, because I want to see it too. But at the same time, you have to respect that My Hero Academia isn't rushing into anything and, you know, forcing something to happen. Because a lot of the times when shows are like, oh, well, people want this and they want it now, so we have to like rush to it, it gets too rushed and it's too fast. You miss so much character growth, so much character development, and then the plot ends up becoming like this mismatch of just blah. And you know, you don't really get to see what it was supposed to be because it's so rushed, which is why I respect My Hero Academia so much for taking this allotment of time in season 5, regardless of the backlash it's gotten. They've taken this allotment of time and be like, no, we are going to flesh this out because we want you to see these characters, we want you to see the setup that we're going to, and the build up and the suspense that has just slowly been building and building and building throughout like the first 10 episodes, I believe, 10 or 11 episodes, is going to be so worth it because it's slowly going up, up, up. And as a story, like in storytelling, that's exactly what you want in a story. You don't want to just start from here and then go up here, go across, and then slam it down. Like, that is horrible storytelling. That's a horrible way to write and produce and do everything. So yeah, I respect My Hero Academia for taking the time to go on that upward hill to reach that climax, that climactic point that's up here. Have to make sure I'm in frame, to make sure it hits up there, and then, you know, that's when it's just, that's when it's gonna go. And when it goes, and I don't know if I'm ready for it, but it's gonna be so much fun. So now this part is gonna be a little bit of a spoiler warning. So if you haven't read the manga and you don't know what arc is about to come up, this is your chance to skip. I will put the marker in right here to show you when this section ends, so you can skip ahead to the next part so you don't get spoiled. So as a manga reader, one, the manga adaptation of this arc was fantastic. I really like how they animated it, and they really did good at not giving too much away for the My Villain Academia arc, which is what's coming up next. And honestly, as a manga reader, they did so well building up to this because we haven't seen Shigaraki in a while. We haven't seen, like, ever since Dabi and Hawk's meeting, like, we haven't seen much of them. I can't remember in the manga if there's more interactions, you know, during these battles, during like the kids fighting and everything. I can't fully remember. But I remember when I was reading the manga, like, I kind of skipped ahead on this arc a lot because, like, reading it, I'll admit that, because I wanted so badly to see where this was going with the villains. And even for me, because I rushed through in the manga, that's why I think I appreciate it even more in the anime that they drew this out, because the payoff for My Villain Academia, where they're leading up to Shigaraki's, like, oh my god, it's gonna be so good, I'm so excited. But like, the face-off with Dabi and how they're gonna like go into everything with the association that they're gonna be facing off against. We're about to get, you know, Twice's big moment, Toga's big moment, and her past, and we're really about to dive into Shigaraki's past. And because of the build-up with All for One and One for All, like, both of that build-up and like seeing all One for All again, and kind of knowing that he's still the one pulling the strings, he's still the one in charge, like, it makes me so excited to see how they're gonna handle Shigaraki's main development, because when that fight that he has gets animated and he fully learns how to use his quirk and how to like really just go crazy with his quirk, I don't think anybody's gonna be ready for that. I'm gonna be blown away, I already know. So, oh my gosh. But yes, I think it set up perfectly for the My Villain Academia arc. If you agree or disagree, you can let me know. But that's all I'm gonna say on the manga. I'm not gonna spend too much talking about it because I don't want to spoil a lot. Because I know some of y'all, even though I told you it was gonna be a spoiler warning, I know some of y'all just went ahead and watched this whole thing and you're just like, so there we go. So anyways, back to it. I do believe that My Hero has gotten a lot of crap about this season, but I don't think all of it is necessarily deserved. From a storytelling point of view, I understand why they paced it a little slower. And I was saying this in a little, like, I kind of read through this arc very fast because of what happens afterwards. But I appreciate it that much more that they didn't speed past it when they adapted it into the anime. I am glad that they took their time to animate every individual scene and just really focus on the characters, because honestly, it's so good. No, it's not as exciting or as like thrilling or stressful as like the overhaul arc or even the one for all or all for one versus all my. Like it's not as like stressful, I guess, as that, but it's still very good storytelling wise because we haven't focused on a lot of characters individually in a while besides like the main set of main characters from this show. So I'm so glad that they took the time to really do that, because me included, I skipped over a lot of it because I was like, oh, we'll get to that later. But it's so deserved, and I'm very thankful that the creators, the animators in this season were just like, no, we're gonna spend our time animating this, and it worked out really well. So that's my take on My Hero Academia Season 5 so far. I know we're only about halfway into the season. When Season 5 ends, I'll probably do another review of the second half of Season 5, so hopefully y'all stick around for that. If y'all want to, that's fine. If you liked this one, let me know. If y'all agree or disagree with me, let me know. That's fine. We can have a conversation. Let's go with that. We have conversations. But honestly, for those who have been thinking about giving up on MHA, saying it's a dead show or something like that, give it a chance. Keep watching. If you were disappointed with how the pacing was in the first half, you will not be disappointed with how this setup is gonna pay off. Like even if I didn't know what was going to happen, because I'm a manga reader, even if I didn't know, even as an anime only watcher, you would be able to tell like, oh, well, these little storytelling devices, things that are happening, it's building up for something, and I want to know what that something is. So don't give up on MHA. It's such a good show, and it's going to get even better. I'm so excited. Sorry. Anyways, that is my review. That's my honest review of Season 5. Yes, it could have been condensed a little bit more. They could have taken out a lot of the repetitive scenes and the openings of the episodes to kind of skim down. But at the same time, I kind of understand why the creators did that. They wanted to kind of draw everything out for the first half of the season. One, probably to get the episodes where they needed to, and two, because they really probably are wanting to focus on the second half of the season. And I think once the second half of the season really starts to air, people are going to understand why the first half was slower paced. Just like in Season 4, Season 4 and Season 5 kind of did a flip-flop of each other. The first half of Season 4 was super fast paced and it went by so quick. And then the last half of Season 4 was a little slower, and it kind of got those happy little moments with like the school festival. And Season 5 is starting out a little bit slower. You get these happy moments with Class 1A winning against Class 1B, and you get Shinzo and Eri back. You know, you get all these little happy moments, but just enough to be like, there's something really, really big about to happen. And I think Season 5, the second half of Season 5 is about to go crazy, and I'm so excited. So yeah, that is my honest review of My Hero Academia Season 5. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure y'all follow all of my social medias. I have my username in the descriptions below. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. I'm going to be doing lives on there more often, hopefully. Make sure you leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel so you can stay tuned to all future videos. I'm going to be doing more reviews. I'm going to be doing character analysis of different characters from My Hero Academia and other shows. You can go watch the Prince Zuko analysis that I've already done and posted. You can find it, I think it's going to be in one of these corners at the end of this video. So if y'all want to go check out the Prince Zuko analysis, go do that. But yeah, stay tuned and enjoy the rest of season 5. So see you later, scholars. Bye.